Hey guys, Brian here from Better Chess Training, and Happy New Year! I hope that 2020 has started off well for you if you're watching this uh, soon after I publish it. And what I'm going to do in this video is share 3 tips to help you make your New Year's chess goals more attainable, as well as show you how I apply those and share a few of my goals, both in my chess development as well as the Better Chess Training YouTube channel. And check out the notes below. I'm going to be sharing a couple books that I read towards the end of 2019, which help inspire some of the tips in this video. Okay, there's a lot of advice on how to increase your habits and how to make your New Year's resolution stick, but I'm focusing on 3 that I'm going to be using, and I'm going to show you my examples um, for both my own chess development as well as for Better Chess Training, our channel here. So the first one is to make it actionable. So you might want to have a ratings goal. You know, I want to reach a certain rating either online or your FIDE rating or your USCF rating or whatnot. But you need to come up with the actions that you are going to do to get there. And I'll show you how you can break that down in a moment. The next thing, you want to keep them reasonable. There's a lot of motivational and self-help gurus who talk about making huge goals. And I do believe in huge goals, but when you're talking about putting things in a time frame that's going to motivate you and keep you moving forward, is to make reasonable goals. For example, well, the reason for this is because your mind, your subconscious, I think, knows what you're capable of. So, you know, from where I'm at right now, if I say I want to become a grandmaster this year, I think my conscious mind is going to say that's not possible, and my subconscious mind is going to chime in and say, "Yep, that's not possible either." So, however, maybe, and I'll show you how I do this. Maybe I can get 100 ratings points this year, and so you want to make them reasonable as well as the actions you're going to take to get there. Um, but you do want them to be exciting, something that gets you excited about doing. I'll show you how I do that with my goals shortly. And finally, make sure the work is fun. And National Master Dan Heisman talks about this as well as I am Eric Kislik in his book. Um, and it's about and I've learned this over time that there's many ways to get to your goal. I was talking when I was more active in the martial arts. I was talking to a Filipino martial arts expert, and he said, you know, I used to run to do road work for my conditioning, and then I realized I didn't really enjoy running, so I now play basketball with my kids and my friends, and I get some almost the same, maybe even better conditioning depending on how intense his games are, but it's something that he enjoys doing, and so therefore he's not going to, fall off the wagon in terms of his goals. So you want to make sure that the work is fun. So you'll get a lot of tips here on this channel and on other YouTube channels and books. But and there's 100 different ways to improve at chess. So pick the methods that you enjoy, uh, and sometimes it's not that you have to enjoy it 100%, but something that's gonna not gonna scare you away from doing it. Okay, so with that in mind, let me show you how I'm applying these to my own goals. Okay, I'm going to start off with my own chess development goals. And so what I have on top here is my vision, which is to have a USCF rating of 1950 by the end of 2020. And so that's about 100 points this year. Now, how am I going to get there? And so I did this, I found this out by analyzing my most recent games and consulting with my coach and a couple of my chess training partners. And first off, I have to play more rated games. In 2019, I played 17 rated games. So that's a lot of, you can't make too many mistakes in order to improve if you're going to do that. And my chess rating went up about 50 points in 2019. So it's not that I didn't improve, but it's there's not much margin for error if you don't play enough games. So the second, um, and again, this is not yet an actionable goal, which I'll get to next. So the next part would be I want to improve my thought process, more specifically, improve the consistency of using my thought process when I'm playing these long time control games. And I'll show you how I made that actionable as well. And then finally, I want to improve my performance attributes. So this would be like energy, things like being focused during the game. And I'll show you how I make that actionable. So for each of these objectives, you have to come up with a few ways to get there that you can measure and that you can track. And again, something that excites you and is fun. So some of my goals here specifically will be to play 40 rated games. Okay, so that's a little over twice as much. And so, of course, I have some ways that I'm doing that, including, and again, sometimes you have to take the bull by the horns. Starting, with someone else, starting a chess club, so that I can have rated games on days that I can have them. And so that is going to be one way, because weekend tournaments, which are typical here in the United States, are difficult to come by with my family and responsibilities at home. Some of the other goals in order to reach those objectives that I mentioned include analyzing 100 of my serious games, both over the board and online. And what this is going to do is to help me focus and see if I'm actually using that thought process. And I'll be able to see that when I annotate my games. And of course, I've talked about this in other videos, so you can check those videos out if you want to learn how to analyze your great games for improvement. I have a couple other things to improve my thought process and calculation. I am going to be trying to finish the I am Charles Hurtan's Forcing Chess Moves or Forcing Moves book. I think it's called Forcing Chess Moves. And then also I got a book for Christmas on with the Gorgiev Endgame Studies 100. So I'm going to be finishing those. Those I'm finding very challenging, but it's really pushing the limits of my calculation and visualization, which is an integral part of that thought process. I'm going to be also completing um, Ricard's strategic chess exercises. And so those are less tactical, but more strategic, and again, allowing me to practice and assess my thought process. Because really, that this consistency is about developing habits. So the more you use it, both in games and tactical problems, and here strategic problems, the more it's going to be ingrained as something you just do. It's kind of like riding a bike. When you first start, you need to think more consciously about balancing and think about how much to pedal and stuff like that. But those of you who know how to ride a bike probably don't need to think about it very much anymore. And it's the same way with developing these habits. And then the final two goals are habits I want to develop, which will increase my energy levels, increase my focus, which is to exercise at least 3 days a week. And again, further, besides just having the goal, setting up the system. So I have a couple ways to do that. I'm attending a yoga class, running a couple days a week, and my son and I are going to the gym to lift. So actually, it's going to be more than 3 days a week, but it left myself a little leeway because I did not average 3 days a week last year. And then finally, I'm going to meditate daily. It's a practice that I've done before, but towards the latter half of the year, kind of got off of that practice, and I noticed that with my ability to focus. Again, these are my particular goals. I'm not necessarily recommending these specific ones to you. So you have to take your own goals, see what you need to do to get better, and then create these actionable items that will both excite you and keep you and something that you feel you can achieve this year in order to improve. So let's take a look at some of the goals for the Better Chess Training YouTube channel. Okay, this is maybe the most exciting part for me is to share some of my goals for this year with the Better Chess Training YouTube channel. And I kept it pretty simple because I feel like some of the content will evolve as I interact with more of you and as we go along here. But here's a general vision of mine is to double my subscribers to 3,000 subscribers here on the channel and to get 25 patrons on Patreon. How do I plan on doing that? And I think part of it is consistency and increasing my value to you as viewers. And so what I want to do here is publish 100 videos. And I want to, in general, increase the quality of the videos, maybe some of the production quality. and some of my presentation skills, but I didn't put specific goals for that here. What I also want to do, and I did a couple last year, is I want to have 5 interviews with titled players, international masters, FIDE masters, or grandmasters, or other experts. I know in the past I interviewed a psychologist to help with focus and such, and to be able to, find people who are going to be able to give us knowledge to help us improve our chess. And then finally, I want to collaborate with 4 other chess YouTubers. Last year, I had 2 others, Stacia Pugh, as well as Say Chess. And those were great videos that we put out, as well as meeting 2 great people to communicate with. So I want to collaborate with 4 other chess YouTubers out there. So if you're watching this and you are a chess YouTuber, reach out to me, and maybe we can do something together in terms of creating a video or a video series. So those are 3 things that I can work on this year and that I find exciting and I think are reasonable. I'm not going to try to publish 300 videos, um, but I thought 100. I think I put out about 70, 60 or 70 last year. So this will be a little bit of an increase. Average about 2 a week, and I think that was both doable, but I think will also again increase my value to you and get a little more consistency in the videos that you're able to see. And hopefully, this will all lead to all of us improving our chess. Hey guys, I hope this video finds you having a good year so far. It's still very early. If you haven't set up your goals and set up what you want to accomplish both in life and in chess in 2020, maybe this video will help spark some inspiration for you to do that. Let me know what you think here in the comments. If you want to share a goal or two, put those in the comments. I'd love to see what your chess goals are for 2020. Finally, I want to give a quick thanks to my patrons. I really appreciate your support. It really inspires me to create these videos and make them as well as I can. So thank you, and let's have a great 2020.